Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining the Masterclass for Biz Rethink Masterclass series. I want to welcome you to the Building Your Business in Times of Crisis. This is the Masterclass. I am Jennifer Harris, creator of the Entrepreneurs Mastery Bootcamp. Thank you for joining us today. So what I will do is I will record the beginning of the session. I will record the session and then have it on replay for those of you who want to look at it on replay. Just trying to make sure that I'm able to get through moving the screen forward. For whatever reason, it's not allowing me to move my screen forward. So just trying to figure this out. Okay, so there we go. It's actually working. So thank you again for joining today. So today we're actually going to talk about, when we're looking at the building your business in times of crisis, today I want to talk to you about the 5 must-dos and the 5 power moves that right now I believe is something that you can be leveraging within your business. And I think it's a very timely subject, and I'm so happy to be here today chatting with you about it. So what I'll do is I will record this masterclass, and then I will close it out and we can have a discussion at the end and a Q&A for anyone who has any questions as well at the end that want to discuss about any particulars. All right, everybody, thank you so much for joining. And for those of you, as a thank you for listening in to this masterclass, there is a bonus at the end of the series. And one last thing, if you do want to access a recording of this, you can get access to the community area by signing up in the Biz Rethink, and we'll have the community area. I'll be able to post it in the Brand Builder Rethink community area, the recording that you can access it after the session. Let's get started. So first I want to introduce who I am. I'm Jennifer Harris, as I mentioned, and I have over 15 plus years marketing and advertising experience. And I've worked in the past on Fortune 500 brands. So anything from, these are all past brands that I have past experience on. So everything from Taco Bell, right through to fast food QSR, right through to B2B, B2C. Obviously, a lot of recognizable Fortune 500 brands that I've worked on, right through to smaller regional and entrepreneurial brands as well. So I've been awarded by global brand leaders for my ability to both drive sales business growth and building breakthrough brands. And I also have experience taken that experience and been working with small and medium-sized business, solopreneurs, mompreneurs, a whole slew of different things, everything from coaches right through to I've got some clients that leverage network marketing, right through to people who have small retail businesses, and a whole slew of different capacities and different types of businesses that I work with. It's a wide range, and I work within all markets in Canada, US, as well as overseas, in Europe, as well as Australia. And I'm also a contributing author on an Amazon best-selling book. That's One Habit from Women Action Takers. It was an absolute pleasure to work on that book, and it's a very good book for anyone who wants to learn all the habits. That is a great book to have. And I also work in a consultancy capacity, an advisory capacity to entrepreneurs and small business owners to really understand how to be able to grow their skills, to scale and grow their businesses. And my passion is really taking all my experience and leveraging in the entrepreneurial space. And so when we look at, I have an agency where we work with, which is called Brand Inc. Agency, which deals with SMEs, entrepreneurs, and coaches, and we do a whole slew of different things that we work with people on. Everything ranging right from strategy, understanding how the consulting and positioning, scaling and growing their business, right through to understanding if they're interested within the podcasting world. That's very trending right now, obviously, especially today within the new heavily online space. Lead generation with course creation, etc. Of what toolkits you need to go to market. And then obviously the toolkit services. So everything from marketing automation, sales funnels, PR services, sales funnels, websites, social media services. So it's a very wide range. And this is really what is the done for you services that we do offer, are all offered through the branding agency. And then from a, sorry, it's glitching out again. And then from a done with you is really from Brand Builder Rethink, where we offer consulting, training, and advisory services to small business owners, entrepreneurs, and coaches who want to do a done with you model, which really, they can afford the maybe they don't have the services or the budgets to be able to have the agency do it for them. They want to be able to control and be able to do some of the things themselves, and they want to know how to go about doing scaling and growing. So they cannot afford to have somebody perhaps come in and do the consulting for them on what to do. They want to be taught on understand how to scale and grow their business. This is a great model that allows, we have created the Entrepreneurs Mastery Bootcamp, which has those training programs where we offer the Scale and Grow Sales Igniter, which is really looking at our 7-step blueprint to sales attraction system to unlock your sales. We have a Mindset Rethink program, which is really about, obviously, all about mindset and understanding the right mindset to scale and grow. And then we also have our Purposeful Leadership training program, which is all about the how to lead for success in business and life, with our 7 keystones to purposeful leadership. And so oftentimes also what entrepreneurs opt to do is bring us on and work with us within an advisory or mentorship capacity. Well, several years ago, when I was working with Fortune 500 brands, I decided that the right opportunity, the next move for me, was really to move myself into the entrepreneurial space. And that was with the branding agency. And over that journey in working with entrepreneurs and in various types of businesses, small, medium-sized, large businesses as well, Fortune 500s, I realized that there was a massive gap within the entrepreneurial space for people who needed that type of services to really have a done with you programs to help them understand, because they didn't have access to senior marketers who actually had experience growing businesses, right? So with me having worked on Fortune 500 brands, I have had to be forefront in how to scale and grow business, turn businesses around. I've had to look at businesses that were struggling and how to turn them into something that is having positive sales growth year over year. So that is what my role was as a senior marketer, is to really be able to have that capacity and bring that forward. And so what happens inevitably is that entrepreneurs don't have the budgets to hire a senior marketer that actually has experience doing these types of things. And so what I wanted to do, I felt very passionate about it, was I felt that there was an opportunity for me to be able to help people in a more impactful way by offering my strategic marketing services in a way that could access entrepreneurs on a greater scale. So I'm very passionate about that, and I'm so happy that's how this all came to be. So without further ado, I know you want to get into the meat of it. Enough about me, right? But I think it's important to kind of give you a baseline as to who I am, where I've been, and why I want to talk to you about this today. So let's get started. We're looking at building your business in times of crisis. So what we do know right now is our current reality is all about, the current reality is uncertainty, right? Nobody 100% knows what the outcome is going to be right now. Nobody 100% knows what's next. Nobody knows 100% the solution. So be careful right now. In particular, I want everybody, as a baseline current reality, you want to be careful right now of who you surround yourself with. And I'm not talking about from a COVID standpoint. Yes, I want you to be careful on that. But what will inevitably happen is there'll be a lot of messaging out there, right? And so I want you to be careful on making sure who you decide to surround yourself with are the right strategic partners, the right strategic mentors for you to help you navigate the current reality. Okay, because what's going to happen inevitably is there's going to be a lot of big, bold promises out there. And a lot of people won't be able to deliver on that, or might steer you in the wrong direction. So I don't want to fearmonger you right now, but what I want to say is that it is a time of uncertainty. So I want everybody to be very careful and making sure they understand what the particular expertise somebody can help with. And so that's really important, because I don't want anybody to spend money that they should not be spending. Okay, so I think that's really important, and to know and think about. So another current reality is that there really are no silver bullets, right? So I want you to consider is that there really is no 100% bulletproof solution, but we can say that there's a system to help you bulletproof. So there's not a silver bullet, but there is a way to help safeguard and work towards safeguarding your business by strategic planning and following the systems and processes. Because if you look at it right now, I guarantee you right now that, and I know this because I have a lot of connections and friends that are within Fortune 500 brands right now within the marketing departments. The marketing departments understand the systems and processes. Marketers who have strategic experience understand the systems and processes that need to happen right now to react and make a plan to what you need to be doing within this current marketplace. And so that's really important. There is, that's why strategic marketers exist, right? So that's really important. Another current reality is that the world is currently being reinvented. So it is a bit of the Wild West right now, and nobody knows 100% what will work and what won't work, but there is the systems and processes to follow. But one thing is for sure, in this current market, what worked before is not how we will work tomorrow. And so you need to have a plan to understand how to react to that. The current, what's currently has been working for you, it just won't be working to that same efficiency given our new world that is emerging as we speak. And while we're at war with COVID-19, really the ripple effect on SMEs is one that most business owners really have not come to truly understand the full implication. A lot of them are feeling pain, but the truth is the world is going to reemerge in a very, very different way, in a very, very different reality. And as much as, yes, many of us work within the online space and basically are very fortunate to have either a component or most of our businesses running within an online space, how that dynamic shift is going to have an impact on it. A lot of people are not realizing right now that what was done before will not work moving forward in the same way it has in the past. And truly, the truth is that we are in the reality is that we are truly not only at war with this disease, we're also at war with what is inevitably a recession. If we are not already in a recession, we are definitely heading in a recession, and the recession today moving forward is definitely going to have an impact on us and the dynamic, because once right now it's all about the news and what the status of this unfortunate situation is with this massive global impact that we're having on this pandemic. It is having immediate and longer term effects that will put us into a recession more than just the next coming few weeks or months. This is a longer term, maybe it's 8 months, maybe it's 12 months. We can, we've seen this before. We had 2001 when we had a hit, we had 2008, we had a hit. And here's the thing, it happens every 7 to 10 years. We know it's coming. We've been told it's coming, this recession. It happens every 7 to 10 years. The last one was 2008. And so we're due now. We were warned it's going to happen, and it is happening. So there is no guarantees in business of what your outcome is going to be, and nor does obviously this masterclass make any committed or promises of this guarantee. But what we do know now is that if you plan in the right way and you make those quick moves to start taking the action to make this the right type of plans, those coming out of it will be able to thrive in the longer term. So without further ado, let's get into it. Let's look at what the 5 must-dos are to building your business in a time of crisis. Okay, so number 1 is really looking to the past to gain insight in the future. Like I just mentioned, we had the 2001 recession, we had the 2008 recession. They were both had big impacts on our economy. So we can look at what those maneuvers were that businesses did back then. Obviously, this is a different dynamic, a different shift, and obviously an unknown because of the global economy that we are in and moving towards not only a global economy, but an online global economy to a greater extent. But we can look at what businesses did to thrive and what strategic movers they have done, and also looking at the playbooks, because we can take some insights out of that to how we can leverage this for our own businesses. You're seeing, what do I mean by strategic maneuvers? Well, for instance, I saw in social media, an example would be, the head of Longo's was out in the store, with stacking the shelves himself, rolling up his sleeves. And why does he do this? Because, he wants to show that he is in it with everybody else. He wants to show that he is taking action, that he is not sitting in the high tower, waiting for things to be sorted out. He is down there in the ground, in the trenches. He is one with you. He is doing everything, quote unquote, in his power to be able to do what his part, right? So it's about what can you do? How can you be positioning yourself to take these types of strategic maneuvers, and understanding how can you be there for those that are within your community, right? So maybe you have a community, maybe, and if you don't, I do suggest you do look to building that community to a greater extent as you move forward. So whether or not this be building, Facebook groups or LinkedIn groups, or however you want to plan it. Some people are using some other platforms so they can move out of the social media space. But it's really important to be starting to build that community and be at one with your community as you move forward. So another one must do is building trust. So really, this is also just tying into what I was just saying, but the trust will be key to success, right? So being out there and making sure that those people who actually trust you, and you need to be working to building the trust with those who you want to buy from you, is even more so important than ever before moving to in the past, few weeks and moving forward, because people have always bought from who they know and trust. But this is going to be even more important now, because so many businesses will be moving into the online space, or having at least a minimum an online component to their businesses moving forward, if not fully shifting within the online space. The factor of trust and who to trust will be absolutely even more important to be able to prove who you are and why should I buy from you, right? Because a lot of entrepreneurs have been living in this world where it's been increasingly competitive over the past 3 years, even more so in the past, definitely in the past 3 years more so, definitely in the past 5, everything's been shifting there. But in the past, we'll say, especially in the past year, for those who are in the coaching area, consulting area, it's even amped up given how the bigger players have shifted and really risen to start that groundswell into the coaching space. So, almost everybody has a program nowadays. So this is all creating heavy competition. But guess what? Now there's going to be even more players now because businesses need to have this online component, right? But how do they trust you versus somebody else? What and how are you going to be building trust in order for someone to buy from you? So this will be really important. So what measures are you putting in place to ensure that you are building trust within your sales funnel? Meaning, how are you moving people through, from becoming aware of you, becoming familiar with you, being open to buying from you, actually perhaps, eventually gaining that trust and buying from you. So this is really important as you're thinking about this. What are you doing to have these measures in place? And there is a process and system to put to follow to be able to put this in place, right? So making sure that you do build that trust. Another must do is really looking at value. Value is going to be the secret sauce moving forward. Value has always been important in the buying experience, but now even more than ever, value will be incredibly important. Now, this does not mean discount. It could always mean discount, but I am not talking about discount right now. And so what's going to inevitably happen is you're going to see a lot of people trying to put things on fire sale, thinking that's the way to go is fire sale everything and major discount everything. And that's going to cause a massive impact. But what I would say is value does not mean to massively discount everything and give everything away for nothing. There's different ways and different strategic levers that you can pull to have value. Now, yes, I'm not saying you don't offer a discount. You can offer a discount, but you have to understand the strategy behind discounting, right? You don't just lower your price point for the sake of lowering your price point. If you are going to discount, you need to understand what the strategic process is for, how and why are you going about discounting and what is next and what's to come, right? So there is actually a pipeline that you need to understand for how you're going to be looking at your offers, right? So don't make that mistake, because a sure way to go out of business is start fire selling everything. And we've seen this, in the competitive landscape. Just all you have to do is just look at the fast food industry with people offering nuggets for 99 cents, right? So that's not a sure way to win. So I'm just saying, be careful. It's been proven already in the marketplace. Don't make that mistake within your business. Okay, so just be very careful. There's different ways to provide value. You need to understand what those strategic levers are and make sure to provide value in different ways to your consumer. Okay. Another one is looking at designing your wheelhouse. Now more than ever, it's going to be important for you to become that purposeful leader to help you in your journey. And this goes for both in your personal and business life. Listen, right now we're in a very interesting space where you're actually, depending on when you're going to be watching this, if you're watching live, but some of you will be watching this in a replay. So the really important thing here is understanding there's different ways to design your wheelhouse, right? So that can be looking at making sure what we call is the 7 keystone to purposeful leadership. And, we have a whole program on that, like I mentioned to you before. But one of the keystones is called designing the wheelhouse. And really it's about transforming, looking at the various components of your life, right? And making sure how are you going to design those aspects of your life moving forward, because inevitably by redefining those and how you want to lead will help you on your journey. And so we look at that and we call what the what a 1 square commitment is designing that wheelhouse, making sure that you're taking those changes, that step change to be able to emerge as a more purposeful leader is going to be very, very important, because those people who take the time to really look at this for themselves will emerge for a bigger win in the longer term. And another must-do will be to leverage the new way of how to build your business. And we talk about this for those of you who maybe are already within the Biz Rethink community. You probably have heard me talk about this. Maybe you've taken the Spark Challenge and looking at our sales vault that we offer everybody within our community. But what we talk about is, for those of you who aren't familiar, is the new way of looking at your business is really defining it from inside out. So we look at when you're listening in the Entrepreneur online and you're listening to how to build your business out there, most people are talking about social media. They're talking about different tactics like Facebook ads or YouTube or whatever the case may be. Those are all within the drive phase. So there's 3 kind of key phases that you need to be looking at, which is decide, define, and driving your business. And most people out there are talking about only that 3rd outer layer. And what is inevitably happening is that people are missing the 2 first key phases of how to basically be planning for success. And the challenge with this is, and the reason why that is because they're not strategic marketers, so they don't even understand that there's 2 other core phases that you need to be looking at within your business planning in order to truly succeed longer term and set yourself up for the most potential for success longer term. And so the new way is to really be looking at defining that inside out of how, what your core is, and how are you going to bring that to life? What is your positioning? What is your why? What is your storytelling? How and why does that come together? What are your strategic big bets? And how does this all come together in order to break through in a more meaningful way? Now, this is going to be even more important, more so now than ever before, because it is going to be a heavily cluttered marketplace within the online space. And how are you going to be breaking through? So this is really important, and we talk about this in the Entrepreneurs Mastery Bootcamp Sales United program. So important. It is basically the core crux of the Pro Series Sales Igniter program. Really important being able to look at that and basically understanding how to bring that to life to be able to have that clarity on your business and drive that forward. So some of the power moves that you can do, we'll shift into that, into this part. So the 5 power moves you can do to building your business in times of crisis. The first power move you can do is really look at your business model. What business model are you working within? You need to rethink likely how are you going to market. Now, there's a wide range of people who will be listening to this. So this could mean everything from, are you a small mom and pop shop that perhaps has a, maybe a pizza shop or something like that. How are you going to rethink how you're going to go to market? Now, there's a lot of different ways you can be doing that. I would say immediately you need to think of stuff like, is there a partnership that you could be developing to be able to offer those types of services within your marketplace that can be offering something that has that delivery? Because maybe you don't have the ability to have your own drivers, but there are other business models out there that you can be currently tapping into that already have that capability. How can you quickly tap into that capability? And a lot of businesses also are retooling. You're seeing, just saw yesterday, there's a small craft beer company that's retooling to be able to move away from beer, and they're going to now be providing some hand sanitizer. So it's a total shift of their business model. They're still manufacturers, they're still creating and producing, but what they are going to be creating and producing is going to look very differently because they're making that shift to be able to shift within this marketplace. So you need to be looking at, is there something within your business model that you need to be either taking a major shift towards, or perhaps a smaller shift that you need to make. For instance, within the coaching business world, if you don't already have the your online communities, you need to be quickly looking at developing those, and how are you going to bring that to market. And we help people understand how to do that. But I would say definitely you need to be looking at how to build those communities for you and moving as quickly as possible into the online space. So that's really important as well. So these are just some quick examples of looking at what your business model is. If you're within, for instance, network marketing is very popular, always within the recession time periods. It typically has historically always done quite well. But how is that network marketing? Because there has been a massive shift within the dynamics of the online space, you need to be looking at, how are you going to be creating that community for yourself? How are you going to stand out amongst the competition now of a heavily competitive, even within the network marketing space? How are you going to be able to look at your business model, perhaps looking more and modeling after businesses like the coaching space, to be able to actually thrive in a more meaningful way, especially because it is now going to be very heavily competitive within the online space, and with in particular within the social marketing space. So power move number 2 would be to double down on your initiative. Your current baseline, I can tell you right now, the current baseline of how you've been building your business is not enough moving forward, period. You will need to, unfortunately, double down on your efforts. I know that seems like a very powerful statement, but the truth is if you really want to thrive longer term, you actually really need to double down. What does this mean? It means that if you were calling 50 people before, you need to be calling 100 people. If you're calling 100 people, you will need to be calling 200 people. And that goes for making social connections. Everything you were doing before, you need to be double downing on, because you will need to double down in the next however long, 12 months, 18 months, however long this is going to be lasting, in order to probably get the same level of sales that you were achieving before. Or if you have a business line within your current business that you are heavily relying on, perhaps you had retail locations, perhaps you had distribution, but now some of those system chains have been cut off. Well, you're going to need to double down and looking at how to get more businesses of the ones you already have, and where can you be opening up new opportunities for yourself. So it is going to be crunch time definitely for the next several months, if not the next 12 to 18 months for sure. But the good news is those that do really look at doubling down have the higher potential of longer term success. And imagine a world where you're actually raise that baseline. What do you think will happen when you come out of this? Can you imagine if you keep that pace moving forward, what you could potentially unlock for yourself longer term? So it's really, if not has been, but this is going to be definitely your training ground. If you have not already been an entrepreneur for a long time, I'm sure you've been in training for a while, but those of you who are new to the game, you double down on that, and you will definitely be able to to come out in a better position. So another power move looking at this is really understanding loyalty. So those who unlock loyalty will actually win in the longer term. So now more than ever, loyalty will become increasingly important to how you build your business. So you want to be looking at this. You want to understand, how can I provide that new level of value to my customers that will provide them the reason to stay with me and to work with me as the number one choice of where I'm going to buy that product or service. Because trying to, it's a lot easier to keep your existing customer than it is to try and get a new one. But it'll be even harder to get new ones if you don't even have that loyalty component either. So these are things that you need to be looking at. Do you have a plan of how to create loyalty within your products or services that you're offering? And if you don't, you need to be quickly looking at how to implement that. So power move number 4 is really understanding the who. A lot of people are thinking, it's the what. But really it's about who is the who. Who is the who that you can help leverage to help you get where you need to go. Who is the right partners, the right strategic alliances? What are you going to do to help you double down on how you're going to market? So it's not what, it is who. And a great way to start that journey is having the right mentor to help you understand where to look for the who, how to work to really double down and bring you on that journey, to mentor you on how to build your business through this time in crisis, finding those right mentors, right? So that's really important. And having been in the business for over almost 20 years, and having been in the marketing advertising space, understanding what those power plays are, I would love to be with you in part of that journey as one of those mentors that would love to work with you. So, but it's really important that you understand who else can you look to, right? It's not just only mentorship, it's also about partners, the right strategic co-ventures. What are they and how can you play these out as quickly as possible? Because this is going to make a big difference for you longer term. There we go. And then the last power move, the 5th power move that I think is really important for you to consider is the strategic bulletproofing. Now, as I said before, there are no guarantees in businesses, in the sense there's no silver bullet. But here's the thing. You need to understand the strategy in what you can implement. We've only covered a very high level amount of strategic bulletproofing of your business and what those power moves can be. But you need to be looking to retreat right now so that you can, emerge and thrive with a plan. You need to really look at how to implement that sales attraction system, and how to really start leveraging this to be able to market, as well as to be able to remarket to your key target, both for your existing customer base, for those who are familiar with you, and for those who are within the cold market as well, who are not familiar with you. You need to be understanding what that sales attraction system is, and you need to be looking at how to make the plan of how to be gaining these leads and nurturing them through your sales attraction system. You need to be looking at what is your positioning in the marketplace? How are you going to break through in a more with a sharper edge, because it's going to be increasingly more cluttered within the online space now, more so than ever. And definitely moving forward, this isn't all of a sudden going to change and go away. It is dynamically shifting how we all do business and how we live our lives. This is going to have a larger impact. And this means everything from how consumers buy, to how consumers interact with your product, what the expectation levels are going to be moving forward, what consumers are going to be willing to do and not willing to do moving forward, and what they are going to expect businesses to be able to do for them. So this is all going to be having a massive shift, in the immediate future, as well as over the coming months, as we're heading into recession, as the whole dynamic of how we buy and how we interact is having a massive dynamic shift. Now, so more than ever, if you're not looking at how to create this sales attraction system, have a plan to be able to get that market share, it's going to really have an impact on your potential for longer term success. So this is really important, and this is something that we talk about within our Entrepreneurs Mastery Bootcamp, looking at the 7-step process to help ignite your sales. It's really, really important. So here's the thing. Now you have a choice, and here's how I can help. Okay, so today, for those of you who are listening in, I have a special bonus offer. When we're looking at, and if you have interest in learning about the sales attraction system, where you're able to rethink, ignite, and look to thrive within your business, we have the Entrepreneurs Mastery Bootcamp Pro Series Sales Igniter program. We have had a lot of alumni that have gone through it and have thoroughly enjoyed it. You will see a lot of them in our Biz Rethink community, the free community. There's a lot of alumni in there, and very positive feedback from our Entrepreneurs Mastery Bootcamp. So I would highly recommend it. And here's the thing: you can take a 2-day online session, and what this covers off. So here, what I know to be true is that a lot of people buy programs and they just never finish them. So one of the reasons why I created this 2-day online session is because a lot of people buy stuff and they just never take the time to do it. And so what this program does is it's for 2 days, it's online, and we come in and we start looking at, mapping that exploration of your secret sauce and how to build that breakthrough communication. What's your brand storytelling? How are you going to drive that into the marketplace? How are you going to identify your business's big wins? And how to ignite them for your sales growth, and understanding the strategic sales levers that exist to understand how to scale and grow, and what are the business and marketing levers to help you accomplish this, and what's your brand ecosystem on how this comes together and works to ignite your sales. So we look at those 2 key phases before the drive. We also look at drive. We look at the 3 core building blocks: decide, define, drive. And we bring this together to help make sure that you understand, how to scale and grow your business. And this is really important to be looking at that, because from a strategic standpoint, you need to be able to understand those principles to be able to, especially in today's marketplace with this dynamic shift, of how to break through in a heavily competitive online space as well, and with your business as a whole. In addition, we're looking at, what are the factors that are impacting your business today? What's that competitive marketplace? How to position yourself? Looking at perhaps what's your ideal avatar? You might need to retool that given where we are at. What are the secret, what I call the secret key 5 P ingredients, the secret P ingredients of the three building blocks to help you break through and drive some sales growth? So those are really powerful as well. How to look at making sure you're carving out your niche in the right way, so you don't end up spending dollars, precious marketing dollars that you don't have, especially now today with tight cash flow. You don't have the ability to be wasting money and certainly testing to the same level that you might have been in the past. In addition, we're looking at, how to be, aligning, that roadmap. So where you are at, what's your strategic vision, how you want to grow, and what does it mean you need to do in order to get there? We talked about doubling down, but, what is also those key strategic big bets that you're going to be looking at to be able to grow your business, and then avoiding those pitfalls to understand, how to adjust so you can scale and grow your business for the longer term. Obviously, there's no silver bullets. Obviously, there's no guarantees in business. There's no guarantees with any there should never be a guarantee with any program, but what I will say is I know that you will find great value in this program, and it's and our alumni have found it very, very powerful. So I think this is a high value, especially it always was, and but especially more so than ever right now. As I said, there's a lot of reasons why you need to be looking at this, and why now is so important to be able to take this initiative now, and to be able to making sure that you're planning your businesses. So what I want to make sure is what I also want to do for you today is I also want to provide some bonuses for you. So I want to give you a snapshot guide, which is the 24/7 scalable sales funnel for beginners. It's just a quick guide for that. I find it very high value because it also goes with the bonus number 2, which is accessing your I give you a free lead magnet, which you can just download and swipe, take that swipe file, and you can use it with your 14-day free trial of what I give you with the exact same system that I use within my business. And then also there's a great little PDF that's provided for you, the 10 secrets of the rich and the 6 truth every entrepreneur must know, a little PDF gift for you there, as well as a bonus. So those are all bonuses that are coming with that 2-day online. And what I want to highlight is that this is 2 days, and right now it is 2 days live online, right? So you're talking, that's high value right there. It is within the group format. It is online. And there's only a limited amount of space, so it's really important for you to be able to make sure you're grabbing the spots while they're available. And I will now, don't take it from me. I'd love for you to hear from one of our bootcamp. Let's hear what Renee.
Because I cannot say enough amazing things about Jennifer. I was part of her Pro Series Sales Bootcamp Igniter, and oh my gosh, it was a game changer for me and for my business. She went into details that no other coach has ever even touched on that I've personally experienced. And let me tell you, I've hired thousands, not thousands. I've hired numerous coaches paying thousands of dollars out of pocket, and they did not come close to giving me the value that I got from Jennifer's course. So
hopefully, hearing from Renee gave you some confidence that a lot of the alumni have so much high value that they've received from the program, and I hope that you'll consider joining us on the Entrepreneurs Mastery Bootcamp. Now, in terms of the value, this program with the bonuses is considered over $10,000 in value. But guess what? That's not what you're going to pay for this program. So including the 2-day online session, as well as the bonuses for the program, it's normally $14.97. And guess what? As a discounted offer, it usually is $12.97. But for today, if you enroll into the Entrepreneurs Mastery Bootcamp, we're offering a fast action for you to join today. Grab those bonuses and grab this discounted rate for just $997. That's $997. You'll get the 2-day program, all the bonuses, and we know that you'll just find some amazing value. But guess what? That's not all. I also want to give you an extra bonus, which is a Masterclass for Purposeful Leadership. I'd love to give that to you as an extra bonus if you enroll today, as well as providing 3 group call Q&As post the 2-day session as a check-in. This is a limited time only for $997 if you're taking this the fast action discounted offer for today. So grab it. Can't guarantee how long it's going to be at that price, but want to offer you that fast action. I know a lot of entrepreneurs and coaches right now and startups really need this program now more than ever, and so want to get it in as many hands as possible. So grab that 997 offer today. Now, we encourage you to enroll, grab that offer. You're going to be able to also connect with us if you want. If you don't want the 2-day program, as I mentioned earlier, that there is the 5-week program as well as the advisory mentorship program. If you feel that that fits you more, you can certainly book a call with us at Brand Builder Rethink, or email us at support@brandbuilderrethink.com. So you can grab book a call at brandbuilderrethink.com. If you wanted to do the 5-week program or look at discussing the advisory mentorship program, you can just book the call there. But to grab that $997 offer, you'll be able to see the link somewhere around you. Will come up in terms of grabbing that offer today. But if you feel like the 5-week program or the mentorship advisory program would be more suited to you, certainly let's hop on a call and discuss what that could look like. Okay, as promised, there's a gift for you. So please come and join our free community, our Biz Rethink Facebook group. And then you'll be able to see the links in there to go grab the link and create your free account. And once you create your free account in the Brand Builder Rethink community group, you'll be able to see your bonus gifts will be inside that community area once you've created your membership area. That's for the Brand Builder Rethink community area. Okay, so thank you so much for joining today. Really hope you found value out of this session. We hope to see you in the boot camp. I really strongly believe that there's value in there for you to be leveraging in your business. Now's the time to take that fast action. So hope you do. Enroll today, grab those spots. The spots are limited at that price point. Cannot guarantee how long they will last. So hope to see you in there, and thank you so much for joining us today. Thanks, everybody.